Hi, this is Greg Giannakabo, and this is the first in the series of pricing strategies, and how to differentiate between pricing and cost and what you might want to refer to as investment when you're making sales, and also creating value. We talk a lot about creating value, so in this one, I just want to mention a little bit of thoughts on something called abundant value. And what is abundant value and how do you create it? Well, abundant value is when the customer gets a lot more than he was expecting in a surprising way. For example, if you say, remember those old TV ads that said, wait, there's more. And now you get 2 of these knives and so, they cut and they slice and they dice, and you might think this is a great value at $19.95, but wait, there's more. That's not necessarily abundant value because you're stacking more and more things on there to make the price appear lower for what you get. It might be a great value, but I'm talking about abundant values when you go to, for example, I was reading an article about Applebee's restaurants, which are very big in the United States, but they're going all over the world now. And when they give abundant value, so for example, in a restaurant setting, this might not be applying to what you're working on, but you can figure out how to make it apply. And that is, they'll give abundant value by giving you things that you wonder if you'd have to pay extra for. For example, free refills on drinks, butter, bread, salad dressings, all that's included. They also give you, and many times, you'll get a free dessert with it. And you'll get large portions so that you're like, wow, this is really something for the money. This is a great, to the person, it's an abundant value. It's more than just good value. It's going over and above. Wow. Now, not that Americans need all this food for sure, but because they're trying to give abundant value. Applebee's was a restaurant chain that was in big trouble. They shut a lot of restaurants. They brought a woman in as product development for a while. Now they have a new CEO, and the company is coming back on its feet again because people are looking, as they say, comfort food, which I think is almost opposite of healthy food. But in any event, they're known for abundant value. Another company that I would say has abundant value would be a bus company out of Germany. They started first in Germany. They're coming to Canada, the United States now. It's called Flixbus, F-L-I-X, bus. Now, in the United States, anyways, getting on a bus is a terrible experience. Nobody travels by bus if you can help it. It's just not accepted. Greyhound Bus was a great franchise at one time, franchise meaning a great company, and they've gone downhill so bad you take your life into your own hands, actually. It's just terrible, filthy, messy. Bus stops are terrible. Flixbus is changing that. And to become a Flixbus affiliate, if you have a bus company in, say, Arizona, someplace, and you want to become affiliated, the buses are $500,000 each. You don't use your old buses. You get new buses, $500,000 each. They come with free Wi-Fi, audiobooks, movies. It's a new experience, at least in the United States, North America. And so they give abundant value for the price of a bus ticket. I never traveled by bus, so I don't know, but I think I did once. Scary. And but for the price of a bus ticket, you get an immense amount of value. Look at Netflix. Netflix used to be where you would get so many DVDs a month by how much you pay. They scrapped that, and now, of course, it's unlimited streaming. That's abundant value. Now, compare that to, let's say, let me use again the restaurant example. Have you ever been to a restaurant, and I can tell you, and I remember this, where they said, oh, if you want guacamole, that's 50 cents extra, or it's 25 cents for this, or an extra refill is $1. They charge you for every little thing. And you don't feel like you're getting abundant value, even if it's not much more money. It's just the idea of it. And so you remember those things. I remember going into a restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, actually fancy. It was a Hilton. And now shrimp is one of those funny words because one shrimp is a shrimp and 4 words are a shrimp. So, okay, I realize that now. But I went in and I remember this is a time when I did not get abundant value. So I was with some business person, and we ordered whatever they ordered. I ordered a shrimp cocktail to begin with. So I figured, well, shrimp as something like to begin with. I wondered how many shrimp there are. I was thinking, well, it's probably 3. For $9.95, it's probably 3 shrimp. I've been to places where they give you 9 shrimp, 3 shrimp. I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to look cheap, so I didn't ask the server how many shrimp got included. I didn't want to look cheap, so I figured it's a Hilton, it's shrimp. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Well, I got shrimp. I got 1 shrimp, $9.95. Now, this is a lot of years ago, and I still remembered in my mind that it was not abundant value. Now, it wasn't enough to refuse to pay the bill because you're in a business setting. But I remember that was not abundant value. I got one, and it was on a fancy plate. I mean, a big plate too. I mean, it was a shrimp. It wasn't a shrimpy shrimp. It was a big shrimp, but it was on one. They say jumbo shrimp. You never know how jumbo it is. But it was on a big plate, had a little sauce around it, looked all fancy, Instagram worthy, you'd say. But it was not abundant value. When you market things, you want to market it so that the person at the end of the experience, when this person is a client, customer, they feel they got abundant value. And that's how you're going to get referrals and word of mouth. Wow, that was a great deal. Unbelievable. I signed up for this course. I got so much value. I'm going to watch it again. Or I went to this restaurant. This is terrific. I want to bring you guys with me. Let's take the whole family next time. Or you should go there. Or you go to an amusement park with abundant value. And in the United States anyway, amusement parks are now seen as really not abundant values. They're expensive. And when people say expensive, I'll cover this in another, I'm touching on some things I'll cover in other videos. But when something is deemed expensive, that sort of means, in most times, that what they paid exceeded the nominal value of it. So if you buy an expensive watch, what you mean to say is, I paid $3,000 for this watch, but it really still keeps time the same as a $100 one, right? So you paid something that was an expense, far and exceeded its utility. I should say its basic utility. So when you go to an amusement park, you can kind of describe that in your mind what it is. But you may not find, at least the prices in North America, that it was an abundant value, but that you might say it was expensive, meaning you could have had a good time doing something else. This cost a lot more. Now you can market your product as a luxury item that's expensive, and we'll cover that, and that creates exclusivity. There's smorgasbords in Pennsylvania, very well known in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I go out east of Lancaster, and there's several of them out there. And those are considered abundant value, even though you might say they're expensive. You really don't need to spend $25 a meal to eat around Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So you might say it's expensive, but the value is so abundant, it takes away the word expensive. You might say it's pricey. You might say, oh, because you really don't need to spend that much. But the value there is so abundant that it's considered abundant value, and you might have to wait an hour and a half. Buses parked outside, people come from hours away because of the abundant value and the unique atmosphere. Now, if I was running a theme park, and maybe I wasn't as keen on maximizing every few pennies out of everybody, but I wanted to maximize the experience for long-term value, I would probably do something to get abundant value, the sense of abundant value. And you can do that very inexpensively. For example, we all know that a fountain soda, a soda in a cup that sells at an amusement park for $2.99 really only costs about 17 cents. So what if you said everybody under 50, everybody under 99, you say everybody under 99 gets a drink for 99 cents. You say, wow, you know what? That would be a talking point. It wouldn't cost the company that much extra either. So think about ways in your business where you can create abundant value. Let me just throw this one thing in the end. That doesn't mean you stack everything on top of it. I just saw a course that said 25 courses included on social media. Everything you need to know about every social media platform, 25 courses, only $39. Well, I don't even know if that's worth buying, because maybe they thought they were creating abundant value. Instead, they cheapened the product. What they could have done is said, if they didn't mind charging that little, if the courses did have value and it didn't cost that much, they'd have been better off by saying 12 months of access to all the courses you can consume for $39 or maybe $57, instead of giving you the whole course downloaded to you for $39. Now, they still would have got $39 at least once, possibly many times after that, many years after that, because, people never consume what they think they're going to consume. So now, I'm going to buy that course. I'll let you know what it turns out. They basically cheapened their course, because I don't think anybody really believes you're going to get 25 high-value courses that are supposedly worth $197 each, and getting all those 25 courses for $39. But I might believe that you would allow me to have access to those courses for $39 or $37 or $47 or $59 a year. That would kind of make sense. And they would keep the value up. They would give me abundant value, assuming the courses are good. Try to think of how you can give abundant value, value that is over and above what you've even promised. You can give good value, which I'm sure you mostly do, give good value by promising a lot and delivering. But how about if you promised a wee bit less and gave a whole lot more? That's abundant value, and that'll create customers for life. More coming up this week, especially. There'll be a series of 5 or 6, or maybe I'll get energetic and have 8 of these. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching.